Hi there, welcome to this Sunday's new topic. My new topic is about the churches out there, and I want to explain a little bit about how to maybe help your church out there because a lot of churches out there are losing numbers because they're getting too political these days. If you really want to reach the audience out there, a lot of your youth wouldn't mind coming back to church if you wouldn't have a lot of people judging on what they wear and their piercings and how they dress. Basically, when you worship Jesus Christ, you come as you are. This session is to this is going to give you a little bit of insight on how to, if you have any local churches out there that are struggling, this video might help you out a little bit to grow maybe some numbers into your church. And if you need help growing numbers in your church and bringing youth to your church, feel free to call me at 1-877-812-4119 toll free, or my cell at 440-986-0418, because I'm also a church consultant. So if you need any help getting numbers in your church and raising more money for your church. Basically, if you go into the Bible and you want to have a successful church or a successful flock, there's a lot of things in the Bible about achievement, prosperity, and success. Like if you go to Psalms 1 through 3. My book is 642. Hang on here just a second here. 642. I'll get there. Here's 642. 642, and it's 1 through 3. And it says in Psalms 1 through 3, blessed is he the person who does not follow the advice of wicked people, take the path of sinners, or join the company of mockers. 2. Rather, he delights in the teaching of the Lord and reflects on his teachings day and night. 3. He is like a tree planted beside streams and trees that produces fruit in season and whose leaves do not wither. Just take that for example, just that little site. What that's trying to tell you is try to get your church on the same page. A lot of your churches out there, they have these cliques, they let Satan divide the church. That's why you have fewer numbers in the church today. And a lot of youth, especially youth, won't even walk into the church because you got so many hypocritical people out there throwing stones and all that good stuff. To be a really good church, what you should start doing, for example, is do some Christian rock bands, hard rock, rap, whatever your church is into, or whatever the youth is into. Once a month, do a food bank for people that are poor or less than fortunate off the street that can come into your church and have a hot meal. That's a church. Remember, a lot of your churches have focused away from the old ways and lost their ways. All they're worried about is the money or what you can donate, or they're worried about the green money that you can hand in their tithes. To be in the old ways, you're supposed to be a church as Christ is center. Remember, Christ is center, Jesus Christ. And you're supposed to help out the people out there in need. Like if somebody needs their rent paid or a bill needs to be paid. Your churches don't even do that anymore. Back when I was younger, churches would help us pay our bills or give us grocery monies if we couldn't afford it at the time. Now, I'm not saying all churches out there don't do that, because there are some that have food banks and stuff like that are struggling. Help them churches out and donate food to them and help them feed the poor or whatnot. But what I'm trying to get at is if you want to keep the numbers in your church, you really got to preach out of the Bible about achievement, prosperity, and success. If you go to Proverbs, once again, in my book, it's 785, 3 through 4. It takes me a little bit, but I'll get there. 785. Hang on here, just about there. 785. And that was chapter 3 through 4. 3 through 4, and it says right here, 3, do not let mercy and truth leave you. Fasten them around your neck. Write them on your tablet of your heart. 4, then you will find favor and much success in the sight of God and humanity. 5, trust the Lord with all your heart and do not rely on your own understanding. I'll go into one more, which is 6. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your path smooth. What I mean by that is when you're giving out to a homeless, when you bring out your left hand, don't let your right hand see what the left hand is doing. God will recognize that. You don't want to don't brag saying, hey, I went out and gave $1 to a homeless, a cheeseburger, or I went down there and gave him a shirt, or don't brag about it. Do that in silence, and God recognizes it a lot better. Because there's times where I've done something good for somebody and didn't brag about it and let God acknowledge it, and a couple of days later I was rewarded. Like I said the last time, I needed $20 and I found a $20 bill on the sidewalk. It really happens. God does listen to you when you fast, but to make your church successful, you really want to follow Him and His teachings and tell Him and do exactly what He does. You can't be a church out there and sitting there, oh wow, he's got a piercing, or wow, he's got a hole in his jeans, or wow, his hair is red and pink, or whatever. You can't sit there and do that. You got to let everybody come in. I don't care if they're drinking. I don't care if they're on drugs. You let them in the door and you preach, because God went out to help the people that needed help. Jesus Christ went out to help the less unfortunate, that people that were possessed, that needed healing, people that were poor, people that were drug inflicted. That's what Jesus did. If your church start thinking like Jesus, what would Jesus do? Your church would never go wrong, and it will prosper. To make your church prosper, you really got to really send out an SOS message to the youth, along with the parents too. Try to get them both to compromise on what kind of music to listen to, how the worship should go. You can do like open worship and stuff like that. But if you really want to succeed in the church, you really have to talk to your people and sit them down and have dinner with them one night, all your people in your church, and ask them what ideas that can be implemented into the church. Let your people, make them important, because they are important, because God has ordained everybody to do God's work. So everybody in the house, everybody in the world is ordained to do God's work. So if you really want a successful church, keep in mind to succeed. Once again, it also says in Proverbs 22:4, in my book it's 8:11, 8:11, 8:11, I'm getting there, 11:22:4, on the heels of humility, and in hyphens it says the fear of the Lord, and riches and honor and life. Think about that verse and really think hard. You know what? It's not all about the money, to help people. And people think donations is about money. Like I said the last time, you could donate food, vehicles, whatever you can donate, or donate stuff that you don't use, and it helps somebody that's homeless or whatnot. If you really want your church to succeed, really listen to every member and get their different ideas to make the church grow. You want people to be excited to come to your church, not sit there and be bored to come to church. Back when I was younger, I remember falling asleep to a lot of things because it was always about the adults. They never made it about the kids. Try to mix it up a little. Have your youth pastor preach, and have your senior pastor over the adults preach. Just mix it up and rock it up, and do different things. Maybe you can separate the youth from the adults. That might even work, where you can actually have, their Christian rock music that's heavy, and then they can have their gospel music on their night or whatnot. But I'm just trying to give you several ideas. But if you're having serious problems with your church, and you're having serious problems with Satan dividing your church, feel free to hire me. I'm a church consultant. I will come in and I will help grow your church's numbers, and I will help your church succeed the way it's supposed to be under Lord God's advice. All the money that I do receive from my consulting goes to the Never Give Up Foundation in court to help out the poor people, less unfortunate people that need jobs, vehicles, etc. So once again, I wish I can have longer on these videos, but YouTube only allows you 10 minutes. But I'm trying to look into a way on the website to make it live, so you can actually see me live every week. So that way I don't have to worry if I preach a half an hour, it's a half an hour or whatnot. Go to my website, give me comments, feel free. And remember what I say under every video, at the end of every video: what would Jesus do? If you think like that, you'll always think right. God bless you guys out there, and you may have a lovely evening.